telling me Steve Harvey and P. Diddy had relations, and for the past 25 years, P. Diddy has been blackmailing Steve Harvey.
Because I'm so quiet, there's been so many stories that have been made up about me. Like I've seen stories about me being like fully in love with somebody and we have like this whole relationship, and I'll see the guy and I'm like, I've actually never even met him before.
No.
Steve Harvey is going down with the diddler. My sources very close to me told me about 25 years ago, Steve Harvey went to a freak-off.
No party either, because you think you're gonna run into your church group or something. This is for the baby's bottom, not for the grown-up's bottom. I'm just saying.
My weapon of choice.
Diddy and Lori Harvey, who, have been spending a lot of time together.
Get ready to have your assumptions about America's beloved Family Guy completely shattered by what you just seen. The fans just made a connection that the media is ignoring. Was Steve Harvey blackmailed by him? Lori finds herself in the heart of Steve Harvey's uncomfortable circumstances, and she claims that the rumors around her love life are to blame. What is really unsettling, however, is Steve Harvey's nonchalant, expert-level knowledge dumping about baby oil. Not a party weapon of choice, weapon of choice. Normal people don't have that type of specialized vocabulary unless they've gone to some very certain kinds of parties. We have been presented with this idealized image of Steve Harvey, the relationship expert who taught women how to attract decent guys, for a long time. Stepdaughter Lori Harvey is having the time of her life, dating famous sportsmen and celebrities and seeming like $1 million at every red carpet event. This was meant to be the American dream family.
That's like his golden slogan for me.
Yeah. And what does that mean for you in relationships when you're like, I'm the prize? What does that mean?
It just means not compromising like my values, my happiness, my peace, not settling for less than what I know I deserve, and not being afraid to walk away from a situation if it's like no longer serving me.
Yes, Diddy's now getting super cozy with Steve Harvey's daughter, who Diddy's son, Justin Combs, used to hang out with.
I don't think that her and Justin were even that serious. They were just out in the club a couple times.
I think it's more interesting that Steve Harvey's there.
Steve developed $1 billion enterprise selling relationship advice, while Lori became the internet's favorite it girl. Every magazine cover, every talk show appearance depicted them as this tight-knit, prosperous, picture-perfect family. What if, however, what we've seen was a meticulously staged fabrication? What if the relationship advice king was really supporting the exact predatory conduct he promised to protect women from? But what if the beautiful stepdaughter was really a pawn in a sickeningly twisted game? You see, this is how they teach us. They show us the ideal family and the trustworthy, moral leader. Steve Harvey became the go-to man for love advice because we wanted to think someone had worked it out. But what happens when you learn that the moral authority has been weakened from day one? What happens when you learn that the ideal family was also the perfect cover for something deeper than Diddy's freak-offs? The internet has been trying to inform us for years. Those rumors Lori mentioned, they weren't simply chatter. They were breadcrumbs pointing to a reality so awful it's going to demolish everything you thought you understood about celebrity culture and the price of fame. Today, we're uncovering how America's love guru reportedly sold his own stepdaughter to cover up his own secrets. The moment that caused the internet lose its collective mind and began connecting links that nobody wanted to see. 2019 was meant to be simply another year of celebrity relationship turmoil. But what occurred in Italy that summer wasn't simply rumor. It was the beginning of an awakening that would uncover one of the most terrible cover-ups in entertainment history. See, when you're America's relationship expert, when you've established $1 billion industry educating women how to recognize red flags and avoid dangerous guys, people want you to protect your own family. They want you to be the first one one to jump in when something doesn't seem right. But what if the person who's meant to be safeguarding young ladies is really the one placing them in harm's way? What if the moral authority we trusted was really the puppet master crafting the same situations he professed to guard against? The internet sensed something foul from day one, since this wasn't just about celebrity relationships or age disparities. This was about a pattern that people were now beginning to identify, and the cover-up efforts that followed made it much more clear.
There's Lori Harvey, Steve Harvey's 22-year-old stepdaughter, in New York looking super happy. And there's Diddy looking, nervous.
So this is fueling the dating rumors that have been going on for a few weeks now.
Yeah, they've been hanging out. Saw her getting out of Diddy's car last week at Nobu.
Look at this disaster. Diddy, 49 years old, music mogul, millionaire. Lori Harvey, 22 years old, fresh-faced stepdaughter of America's love expert. And they're not only seen together, they're everywhere together. Italy, New York, Soho, Malibu. Identical costumes like they're trying to shout, "We're together," to the world. But here's what made everyone's skin crawl. Steve Harvey is right there with them in Italy, watching his 22-year-old stepdaughter snuggle up to a guy twice her age, a man he's been acquainted with since 2005. And then the cover-up efforts began becoming sloppy. Steve Harvey deleting a 2017 tweet endorsing Diddy in 2024, precisely as Diddy's legal issues escalated. Why remove a 7-year-old tweet? Steve, what are you attempting to hide? And if Steve Harvey could do this to his own stepdaughter, the child he helped raise, the girl who called him dad, what does it tell us about who he really is beneath that mask of moral authority?
It's 2019 and the internet is losing its mind. Diddy, who was then 49, and Lori Harvey, a fresh-faced 22-year-old, are spotted everywhere together. Italy, New York Soho, Malibu dinners, you name it. They're there together. Paparazzi catch them strolling like a couple, and the blogs, well, they go wild. A 27-year age gap? That alone raises eyebrows. But then reports drop that they're rocking matching outfits. Matching outfits, people. Like, who does that unless they're trying to scream, "We're together"? But here's the kicker. Steve Harvey, Lori's stepdad, is chilling with them in Italy while this is all going on. Why is Steve, Diddy's buddy since 2005, cool with his stepdaughter cozying up to a man twice her age? Something is not adding up, and the internet smelled it a mile away.
Diddy and Lori Harvey, they're heating things up in Italy.
Notice her arm is on the back of his chair.
One thing about Lori Harvey is that her dating life is always gonna make headlines, cause that girl knows how to pick and choose her men. She has been in a lot of high-profile relationships, and as a result of that, there have been a lot of weird rumors about her. And she's the type of person who usually doesn't address rumors online, so there are some wild, unchecked rumors about her that are still spreading. Lori's very long list of exes includes soccer player Memphis Depay, rapper Future, Michael B. Jordan, Trey Songz, Diddy's son Justin Combs, and then Diddy himself. All of her relationships have been pretty public, but her rumored relationship with Diddy raised a lot of eyebrows because she had dated his son only a year before. She and Diddy were slammed for being disgraceful. Lori was labeled an HOE, and it was just a mess.
Was Lori Harvey passed around? Guys, fast forward to 2025, and the rumors have gotten nasty. They've been nasty for a while. But people are posting all types of claims, with some saying that Lori Harvey was passed around in Hollywood, while others whispered that she was sold to Diddy. Yes, you heard that right, sold. These are unverified, but the fact that people are even saying this shows how shady this whole thing looks. And then there's the Justin Combs angle. Rumors swirled back in 2018 that Lori was dating Diddy's son, Justin Combs, because their families were so tight. Diddy and Steve go way back, guys. So this is not a stretch, right? Like, I don't think it is. But Lori then shut it down in 2023 in an E! News interview saying, "I've heard I dated a father and son before. Absolutely not true." Okay, Lori. But then why do these rumors keep sticking? Why all the pictures and you very, very snuggled up to Diddy wearing matching outfits? To me, this is screaming a cover-up.
The internet began connecting links that the conventional media refused to tackle. And what they uncovered was going to demolish all we thought we knew about America's favorite family guy.
Say baby oil! Baby oil! My hidden talents really can't be discussed on national television because it involves excessive amounts of baby oil, low lights, and moaning. You gotta be a baby oil professional. Now, most people don't have a microwave in their bedroom. I've installed one because I need hot baby oil at hand. Here's a couple of low-budget ways to accomplish it. Run a sink full of hot water and just lay that bottle of baby oil in there for about 15 minutes. Turn it and let it heat up like that. Here's another way to apply warm baby oil. Take a washcloth, run it under the hot water till you can't stand it anymore. Then wring it out. Then saturate the washcloth with the baby oil. Then take the hot washcloth over there to the bed. Then as you need it, wring it a little bit and go to work.
So this is the new story going around.
This is when the falsehoods start tumbling apart. Look at this disaster. Steve Harvey providing master lectures on baby oil application like he's some sort of expert. You got to be a baby oil professional. You need to microwave this baby oil before you come in there. What kind of relationship guru has this level of expertise with baby oil, unless he's been to some very specific kinds of parties? When the internet began connecting dots, all sides moved into full damage control mode. The Harvey family tactic was simple. Deny everything, control the story, and hope people would go on. But their denials just made things more suspicious. Lori, in 2023, remarked, "I've heard I dated a father and son before. Absolutely not true. But the receipts indicate a different tale. The images, the matching clothing, the family trips, none of it was imagined. The denial phase showed everything. When influential individuals start wiping their digital traces and rewriting their tales, that's when you know you're over the goal. Steve Harvey wasn't just safeguarding his reputation, he was hiding secrets that may ruin all he'd achieved."
She walked in, the door wasn't locked, so she didn't think twice about just walking in. And when she walked in, she saw Christopher Williams performing fellatio on Puff. Now, from what she said to me, it was disturbing because, they didn't stop. She just walked out.
This is where the actual insiders start breaking their silence. Listen to this attentively. Ally Carter isn't simply tossing out names for shock effect. She's putting Steve Harvey alongside Diddy as someone who's just as guilty. This is a T survivor who's been in these circles, who understands how this system works. These aren't random online trolls or clout-chasing influencers. These are industry veterans with nothing left to lose, now ready to disclose the truth about how this machine actually functions.
You don't live in the world you think you do. Everybody that you think is not guilty is about to show you who they really are. I've been screaming for years. We're not talking about the victims that are still going through the now with other people who are running to cover their deleting their social medias. Pink, Megan Fox, Tyra Banks, Steve Harvey. Why are you running? We got legal evidence to drop.
All right, one time I'm in the studio. Don't judge me either. One time I'm in the studio, and maybe I was tripping because I never really quite been a weed smoker or nothing, But one time I'm smoking weed, brother, and I walk in the studio and just seen uncomfortability to my eyes. How about that? I seen uncomfortability to my eyes, and my eyes are very comfortable with things that I see. And I seen uncomfortability with my eyes, and I'm not going to, I'm not laying back there and saying that everything I'm saying is just 100. That's why it was so easy for me to get out of my contract, is because Round knew to let me go. You know what I'm saying? And even right now, I just say uncomfortability to my eyes. You can take that how you want it. You heard me? But uncomfortability to my eyes, what I'm not used to seeing two men do when I look at them. A powerful man at that.
And here's Chopper. the rapper from Making the Band 2, selected by Diddy himself, explaining the pain of witnessing two powerful men together in ways that made him rethink everything. What I'm not used to seeing two men do when I look at them, a powerful man at that. This isn't just any artist speaking. This is someone who was actually nurtured by Diddy, who was intended to be the next Southern sensation under Bad Boy South. Chopper was inside the machine. He saw how it operated, and when he witnessed something that made him uncomfortable, he knew enough to get out. That's why it was so easy for me to get out of my contract, he said, because they knew I'd seen too much. This is our roadmap to understanding how deep this goes. These whistleblowers aren't simply exposing individual crimes, they're showing a comprehensive network of corruption and control that's been working for decades. When someone who was being positioned as Diddy's next big star goes away because of what he observed, it tells you everything about what truly occurs behind closed doors.
Harvey is going down with the diddler. My sources very close to me told me about 25 years ago, Steve Harvey went to a freak-off, right? I knew some security guards who had seen it happen. He goes to a freak-off. Him and Diddy allegedly had relations. We all know Diddy has 90 terabytes of footage of freak-offs. What happened? Reportedly, Diddy has been blackmailing Steve Harvey for the last 25 years. And even sicker that I've heard, Diddy was dating his daughter. And so was Diddy's son was dating Steve Harvey's daughter. And reports and security guards close to me tell me that Diddy just uses his daughter as an ATM machine to get back all those years of blackmail that he has been taking away from Steve Harvey. I am sorry if he is one of your most favorite TV show hosts. He's one of mine as well, but the news must come to light. And yes, Steve Harvey is involved, allegedly.
Listen to this bombshell. Steve Harvey is going down with the diddler. Sources close to the matter believe that roughly 25 years ago, Steve Harvey went to one of Diddy's famed freak-offs. Him and Diddy apparently had intercourse. 25 years of blackmail. That's not a relationship. That's a jail sentence. When someone possesses compromising film of you for a quarter of a century, you don't simply become complicit, you become their property. Think about what this means. Steve Harvey, America's love expert, supposedly being controlled via extortion, while his stepdaughter being handed between Diddy and his son like a commercial transaction.
Did Steve Harvey make Lori Harvey date Diddy? What's up with that?
Of course. And allegedly, Mary Harvey has said so. Steve Harvey also has a very inappropriate relationship with the diddler. And the truth is, a lot of these older men push their daughters to hook up with their celebrity friends so that they can keep the favor machine going. I just don't know with the way Diddy rock, like, how do you share with your daughter, you know? Like, they share that experience now? Well, what'd he do to you, baby? Like, what? This thing.
And here's the confirmation that makes your skin crawl. Jaguar Wright isn't just guessing. She's alleging that Steve Harvey aggressively pushed Lori into this connection with Diddy to cover up their own hidden arrangement. This isn't about a stepfather failing to safeguard his daughter. This is about a dad supposedly using his stepdaughter as cover for his own risky relationship. When the relationship expert turns the predator, when the moral authority becomes the facilitator, we're looking at a degree of treachery that goes beyond anything we've seen previously. The barrier we're passing isn't just about detecting corruption in Hollywood. It's about comprehending that the individuals we trusted to lead us, to protect the weak, to advocate for family values, were the ones orchestrating the damage all along. Steve Harvey didn't simply fail Lori. According to these reports, he reportedly sold her to cover up his own secrets. And if that's true, then everything we thought we understood about family safety and moral authority in America was a lie.
We should care, guys, because this isn't just gossip. It's a warning about who gets protected in Hollywood and who gets thrown to the wolves. Lori's out here living her life now, but the internet is not going to forget. And Diddy, you already know, his legacy has completely crumbled at this point. And I just think that's just one piece of the puzzle. But I think the bigger question surrounding this, more so than Diddy, is Steve Harvey. With him having the book that he did and him giving advice to women for years, it being turned into movies, him being propped up as this savior of single women and how they should date and how they've done everything wrong, and he's going to be the one to direct and steer them. All in the midst of this, allowing his stepdaughter to date this man. And you may be asking, well, where is Lori's real father? We don't know. If you look up who her father is, nobody knows. But it has been, I'm not going to say confirmed, but I'm going to say, look it up for yourself. The information that's out there, the interviews given by Big Meech. Big Meech, who is a known drug kingpin who was in prison for many years. I think he's out now, who had a relationship with Lori's mother, Marjorie. And he said that is his daughter. Okay. And this is what has been out for a while now. This is what people speculate. But for some reason, it's really weird that Marjorie Harvey and Lori Harvey won't confirm who her real father is. They've just co-opted Steve as her stepfather. And even though he has his own biological kids, they've just co-opted that as that's her only father figure.
When Bill Cosby's victims came forward, when the evidence was overwhelming and the verdicts were handed down, Steve Harvey stood by his mentor. Even after Cosby was behind up, Steve was still receiving his calls, still preserving that allegiance. This isn't simply about friendship or business relationships. This is about a guy who continually chooses to defend strong predators above their victims. When you look at Steve's pattern of defending Bill Cosby and enabling Diddy's access to Lori, you're seeing someone who's either completely naive about predatory behavior, which is impossible for someone who claims to be an expert on relationships, or someone who's actively participating in a system that protects aggressors. And now, we have evidence of Diddy's chronic maltreatment pattern from another victim. A 2020 interview with model Gina Huan has appeared during the trial. Huan, who dated Combs from 2014 to 2019, characterized their relationship as hurtful. He stomped on my stomach like really hard, took the wind out of my breath. I couldn't breathe, but he continued beating me. I was begging with him, "Can you just stop? I can't breathe." But here's the bombshell that connects everything. Hein revealed that Combs repeatedly told her they were in an exclusive relationship, but she discovered he was seeing other women. He's always told me that it was just only us two, but I always catch him texting other girls and stuff. After my abortion, there was this lady called Jordan, and then Jocelyn, then Kat, and then lately, Lori Harvey. There it is. Lori Harvey's name dropping at the end of a list of women Diddy was allegedly cycling through while claiming exclusivity with others. This wasn't a relationship, this was a rotation. Future discloses how much Lori Harvey was paid by Diddy for the Italy trip. Okay, so it seems like Future is finally ready to get his lick back on Lori Harvey, since word on the streets is that he just exposed Lori Harvey for fooling with Diddy and being paid for it. Y'all know that Future has been hella bitter because Lori ditched him before he got a chance to make her his baby mama. Now, with everything that has been going on with Diddy being caught for paying many young ladies to be his sugar babies, Future is now ready to expose Lori. Not only is he exposing her, but he's also supposedly disclosing precisely how much she was paid for being Diddy's sugar baby. Future is going to blast everything wide open. So let's get into it. If y'all knew Future, then you wouldn't be shocked that he's exposing Lori like this, since he has really earned his label as the Lord of Toxicity. Word on the streets is that his ego was damaged when Lori left him, since she was the one who left. If y'all know anything about Future, then you know it's his hallmark maneuver to get his girls pregnant and then dump them shortly after. He did the same thing to Kiara, but she discovered Russell Wilson and had a lovely marriage. And y'all know how nasty Future has been about it. He's always throwing shade at Ciara and Russell, and he's never afraid to get dirty. And that's precisely how he was with Lori when they were together. He was the ideal guy to her. He did adorable things like putting flowers on her steps on Valentine's Day. But then we found out that he had secretly fathered a kid with an influencer called Eliza Rain. Eliza attempted to draw Lori into the controversy, but y'all know that Lori does not get engaged in ugly situations like that. So she dumped Future and went on with her life. Well, this made him angry, and he began throwing shade at her like he wasn't the one who cheated on her and got someone else pregnant. He published a photo on Instagram and titled it, "Should have never gave a messy hoe a chance. My apologies to my fans." He was so bitter that he even dissed her in a song, Maybach, when he claimed, "Tell Steve Harvey I don't want her. One thing I never saw was a buck that leave." As horrible as it sounds, it turns out that his original verse was far worse. In the unpublished version that emerged a couple of weeks later, he remarked, "Must have forgot to tell her daddy she begged me not to leave. Put baguettes on your ankles, darn near up to your knees. She didn't have an option but to go lame after me." Chilly, not Michael B. Jordan chasing strays. Future is not the sort of person who enjoys it when ladies leave him and he crashes out on them. Now, it's been 5 years and you'd think that he would be over the drama with Lori, right? Well, y'all would be mistaken, because word on the streets is that this dude has been going off on Lori again, clowning her for reportedly deceiving for Diddy. Now, if y'all have been following Diddy's trial, then you know that he was exposed for having several women on his payroll as his adult workers, if you get my meaning. Multiple women were revealed throughout the trial, including rapper Young Miami, 50 Cent's baby mom Daphne Joy, Gina Huynh, as well as a Jane Doe who said that she was envious of Young Miami because Diddy paid Young Miami more attention. Well, the streets are now stating that Future is alleging that Lori Harvey was also one of the ladies. According to sources, he's purportedly saying that Lori pranks for older, affluent guys in Hollywood and that Diddy was one of her alleged tricks. But before we go into what Future is saying, can we speak about how there has been discussion about this in the past? Y'all remember when the Bayhive dragged her for trash when they believed she was attempting to make moves on Jay-Z? For those who don't remember, this occurred way back in 2019 when Jay-Z brought Lori Harvey to a Rock Nation brunch. The event was crowded with stars, which isn't unexpected, since if Jay-Z asks you to an event, you best drop whatever you have going on and get dressed. So Lori received an invite to the event, and she showed there looking like $1 million. But it wasn't her clothing that had people talking, since what people were really interested in was a clip that she shared on her Instagram stories.
It's like, okay, I'm about to, like I said, just date on my terms, and like however I want to move, whatever I want to do, I'm gonna do it. And if it's no longer serving me, I'm gonna move on.
What's the best advice they've given you?
Just remember that you're the prize at all times.
Boom.
Best advice.
In the footage, you can plainly see Lori having a chat with Jay-Z, but the internet being the internet, some claimed she wasn't simply talking, they were certain she was low-key flirting with him. You know the drill, head inclined, huge grin, laughing at everything he says. Classic flirting cues, at least according to users online. But here's the thing. You've got to remember this was 2019, and Lori already had a bit of a reputation going about. A lot of people weren't exactly her greatest admirers at the time, and the entire man-stealer moniker was already following her around. So, unsurprisingly, this video merely added more gasoline to the flames. When she shared the footage of her and Beyoncé's hubby, the Bayhive went bananas. They swamped Lori's Instagram comments with bee emojis and wrote some frightening remarks beneath her post, stating things like, "Let this be your first and last warning. Play your game and keep it with the R&B men. Period. If you attempt that ish again, you're going to lose that grin, and I don't want to have to come back to your page, sis." Lori was so swamped that she had to plead for forgiveness, stating, "Meanwhile, I'm part of the Bayhive." Well, according to reports, Future is now alleging that she was attempting to get with Jay-Z, but backed off when she realized the Bayhive was going to gobble her up. But Diddy was fair game since he was a single guy when she made advances on him. While it was legally accurate, it still made folks feel a sort of way since Lori was incredibly close to Diddy's ex, Kim Porter, while Kim was alive. But barely a few months after Kim deceased, Lori was suddenly all over Diddy. What really rubbed folks the wrong way was the fact that when Lori chose to go public with Diddy, she withdrew her homage to Kim Porter from her Instagram page. She had wrote, "Kier somais HNNT career." Having a hard time processing this one, "You were such a gorgeous person inside and out. I'm so pleased I told you how much I loved and missed you the last time I saw you. Your energy was certainly something special, an angel on earth and now in heaven. R.I.P., Mama Kim." People felt a sort of way when she erased the homage, and she was criticized for it. But what we didn't know at the time was that things were going to grow much shadier. We're not even going to go into the fact that Diddy was 28 years older than Lori at the time, or the fact that he had known her since she was a teenager, since he and Steve Harvey moved in similar social circles. See, once Cassie filed her complaint, people began putting two and two together. They noted that she usually had her nails painted white while she was with Diddy. Cassie said in her complaint that Diddy reportedly ordered his female lovers to have their nails done in white because he appreciated the striking contrast against the dark complexion of the male escorts he allegedly arranged. Fans began talking about how Lori reportedly conducted freak-offs with Diddy. But according to Future, it apparently went further than that. Y'all remember that crazy trip Diddy and Lori had with Lori's parents, Steve and Marjorie? Well, word on the streets is that Lori was supposedly fooling with Diddy, if you know what I mean. Now, we don't know whether Steve and Marjorie realized what she was up to, or if they believed they were simply going on a beautiful vacation with their daughter and her boo thing, who was closer to their age than Lori, but we're not going to go into that. What we are going to get into are the rumors that Future is now saying Diddy reportedly paid Lori $1 million to go on that trip with him. Say what now? Chilly? I don't even want to think how strange things became on the journey. Diddy's freak-offs, where he didn't even pay the female partners, got so out of hand that some of them had to get IBS afterward. To be honest, we don't know for sure whether Lori did crazy things with Diddy, but judging by Future's allegations as well as accounts from his exes, well, I'm going to let y'all put the pieces of the jigsaw together because I'm not going to lay it out for you. Girl, Future is devoted to being messy AF because the only reason he would bring up this conflict from all those years ago is to embarrass Lori.